Good afternoon everyone, here's our latest video update on Typhoon Maysak or Bagyong Chedeng as it continues to move across the Philippine Sea towards the island of Luzon, potentially making landfall there early Sunday morning. The eye of Maysak was last located approximately 940 kilometers east of the town of Catarman in the province of Northern Samar, or about 1,350 kilometers east-southeast of Manila. Maximum sustained winds, according to the latest Japan Meteorological Agency's analysis, are at 175 kilometers per hour with gusts of up to 250 kilometers per hour. The Joint Typhoon Warning Center likewise has weakened their wind estimates to 215 kilometers per hour with gusts of up to 260 kilometers per hour, making Maysak a Category 4 typhoon on the Saffir-Simpson scale. Not a super typhoon anymore. Remember, it peaked as a Category 5 super typhoon yesterday. It has since weakened as it moves across the Philippine Sea. Again, strong wind shear as we've discussed yesterday, and also the presence of dry are inducing some weakening on Maysak, and we expect this to continue before it makes landfall in the Philippines, which is definitely good news. In fact, latest computer model and the forecast consensus have considerably weakened, and we won't be surprised if Maysak becomes a tropical storm, weakens to a tropical storm before it makes landfall in Northern Luzon. And looking back at the infrared satellite loop, you can see the eye has shrunk and has become really rugged and smushed. The cyclone appearance overall is also looking a bit ragged now, and definitely not as impressive as it was yesterday. Again, the presence of strong westerly wind shear is impeding the outflow, and also you can see cloud tops being sheared away to the north and northeast. Also, the presence of dry air really taking its toll in the inner core of Maysak. You can see here in this latest microwave image, which takes a closer look inside the storm beyond the clouds that we see on satellite. You can see the cloud temperatures here. The yellow and the reds indicate colder temperatures, possibly strong thunderstorms, and we're seeing less and less of that color now, and especially along the southwestern quadrant of the circulation, meaning again dry air beginning to take its toll and beginning to be much bigger influence on the overall environmental conditions in this region. And again, we expect Maysak to continue weakening over the next 2 to 3 days. Now, as far as forecast agencies go, we're looking at Pag-asa's latest forecast here. They have converged on a track, again, as you've been saying before, Northern Luzon possible landfall probably in the province of Aurora. You can see here Pag-asa's official track is taking the center of Chedeng or Maysak near the city of Kasiguran by early Sunday morning. Right now though, Pag-asa hasn't issued any signal warnings just yet. However, we expect the agency to begin issuing those, possibly signal number 1, by later tonight or perhaps early tomorrow morning, Friday, as the system moves closer to the coast. And here we have the Joint Typhoon Warning Center's forecast, and hasn't really changed much since their last forecast, although their landfall track is a little bit more north compared to Pag-asa's. JTW is expecting a landfall possibly in the province of Isabela. Same timing here, we're talking about early Sunday morning. And you can also see JTWC's forecast intensity has weakened compared to their previous bulletins, and actually expecting Maysak to become a tropical storm now as it moves into Northern Luzon. Expect the system to cross the island in about 12 to 18 hours, leaving into the South China Sea or the West Philippine Sea as we move into Sunday evening and into Monday morning. Rainfall and strong winds, again, still the main threat from this typhoon. And finally, we have the Japan Meteorological Agency's forecast, and again, pretty much similar forecast track compared to the other two agencies that we've shown previously, and taking a more west-northwesterly track and making landfall possibly in the Aurora-Isabela area as you move into Sunday morning, and then crossing the island, exiting into the South China Sea as you move into Monday, and perhaps making its second and possibly final landfall in southern China as you move into Monday evening and into Tuesday morning. Looking at the rainfall projections from Maysak, we're using one of the computer models here, the COAMPS forecast model, showing the potential rainfall over the next 3 to 5 days here. Again, expecting Maysak to move into Northern Luzon. We're expecting those heavy rains to move possibly 200 to as much as 500 millimeters of rainfall, especially along the mountainous area, especially if the system actually slows down before it makes landfall in Luzon. So the slower it moves, the longer the duration of those rainfall will be, especially across the Northern Luzon area. One thing to note is that the stronger the wind shear, the greater the chances of those rainfall to become much more disorganized. And looking at the forecast here, again, not much rainfall being projected across central and southern Luzon. So the bulk of that heavy rain will probably fall across the northern Luzon area. Aside from the heavy rains, we're also seeing the potential for strong winds, and as always, a threat of storm surge, especially along the eastward coast of Luzon. So again, please coordinate with your local officials, especially again if you're living in the provinces mentioned before, Isabela and Aurora, as the system could make landfall there by Sunday morning. But that concludes our video update for this afternoon. As always, please keep checking our website westernpacificweather.com for the latest updates on this storm, and also on a developing cyclone in the Caroline Islands. Actually, in fact, the Joint Typhoon Warning Center has issued a tropical cyclone formation alert on that tropical disturbance, codenamed Invest 99 Whiskey, and in a computer model showing a potential impact for Guam and parts of the Mariana Islands as we move into the early next week. As always, stay safe. Bye-bye.